You know, they say that time really goes by when you're having fun, and here we find ourselves on our last show of this series. So I thought today, since I lived in Alaska so long, I'd do a special Alaskan painting. So if you come on up here to the canvas, I'll tell you what we've already done. Now, I've taken a black canvas, as you can see. We painted this with just a flat black acrylic paint, allowed that to dry. And then on top of that, I've put all different kinds of transparent colors. I've put some, right in here, some alizarin crimson, over in here, some phthalo green, phthalo blue and green mixed all over the canvas. So it's completely covered with a thick paint. So it's all ready to go. So let's have them graphically run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint this project with me. And I think today we'll do some northern lights. So come on up here and let's get started. I'm going to use the old fan brush today. So probably one of the best ways to do this is sort of take, and you can just, on this black canvas, you can draw in some basic shapes. And if you've never seen the northern lights, a lot of times they're in what they call curtains, or just layers. Now, if in your part of the country there's no such thing as northern lights, you can do the same scene, leave the lights out, and maybe put a little moon in the sky, and it'll be just as effective. But once again, for my friends in Alaska, today I want to do a northern lights picture. Start with the old fan brush, go right into titanium white. Now we already have all those beautiful colors on the canvas, so all we need is white. Let's go up here. Now, decide where these curtains or these lights are going to be and just begin tapping. See, all I'm doing is just tapping and tapping the color in, and make your basic shapes. Just very basic shapes. And put a little more paint where you want it to be a little brighter. And we have one coming right across here. And I'm just tapping titanium white on there. Sometimes there's little ridges and they bounce around, and there it comes. See, just right on around. Right on around. And we'll have 3 layers of lights in this painting. And you can have as many as you want, or as few as you want. It's up to you. Up to you. Now then, this is where the fun starts. Let's take a 1-inch brush, and I'm going to begin grabbing this and lifting it upward. Just grab it and pop it. Just pop it up. Okay, there we go. Now already you can see it begin picking up some of the different colors. And here, like so. Let's grab this one, lift it up. Well, Johnny Horton wrote a beautiful song about northern lights. Northern lights were running wild in the land of the midnight sun. And I lived there for over a dozen years, and that has to be one of the prettiest countries in the world. God was really having a good day when he made Alaska. Now then, I'm going to take the 2-inch brush and go all the way through this and lift up, all the way through. Follow the same angles, all the way. Look at that. There you go. And you can pull these as high as you want them. And some parts of the country, they don't see a lot of color in northern lights. They see maybe only whites or yellows, and you can do yours that way. Where I lived, right outside of Fairbanks, in a little town called North Pole, sometimes we would see lights in every color in the rainbow. So that makes it a little more interesting. So I figured if I did a bunch of colors, you'd find your color in here somewhere. Okay, you see now right in here, this is where the crimson was, and you have sort of a lavender feel in here, and blue in here. Over here, there's a little phthalo green mixing with a phthalo blue. Makes some beautiful, beautiful colors in the sky. So let's wash the old brush. Give it a shake. Just beat the devil out of it. And no painting of Alaska would be complete without an almighty mountain. Take a little bit of black, a little bit of phthalo blue. We'll even put a little Van Dyke brown in there. Very dark. Pull it out flat, cut across, get that little roll of paint right on the edge of the knife. Okay, let's go up here. You have to make a big decision. Where does your mountain live? Maybe right there. Takes very little paint because the canvas is already black. There. See, put little bumps and hills and valleys, whatever you want in your mountain. Just drop it in there. Like so. And scrape off all all the excess paint. You really, really can't scrape too hard. Then we'll take a large brush, grab it, and pull. This just basically removes excess paint. The more of this paint that you can get off, the easier the next layer is to stick. So take off all of it that you can get off. This is also an excellent way using brush strokes to begin laying out your highlights and shadows. See how you can pull all kinds of effects? There, maybe you want to see. And you're not committed. You can just keep changing this and playing with it. Maybe you want a little shadow. You can see there. It's that easy to find out how your highlights and shadows will look in there. Pull it through, or you can just keep going to spend all day just playing there. Okay. Now then, let's use our old knife. We'll go into titanium white and a little bit of blue. Just a small amount of blue. There. Just enough to tin it. Good. Pull it out very flat. As flat as you can get it. Get tough with it. And come across. Get that little roll of paint right down to the edge of the knife. Okay, let's go back up here. Now then, let's have some snow just coming right down the side of this mountain. Wherever you want it to go. No pressure. No pressure at all. Just let it flow. You want that paint to break. You want all these little holes left in it. There you go. See it? And you can wiggle that knife and cause all kinds of little effects to happen. Let it go. Okay, right up here on the top, we want a little bit of snow right up here. There. It comes right down. Maybe it joins together. You have to make big decisions here. There we go. Okay, now maybe there's some light striking right over here on that little ridge. Let's begin with our shadows. For the shadows, we'll take the blue and the white, mix it together. Like so. Well, maybe we'll make that a little bit lighter. It's still a little dark for what I want. That's much better. Cut across it, our little roll of paint again. Okay. Now then, no pressure. No pressure. Just let it barely caress the canvas. And just begin laying in all kinds of little things. Anywhere you want a little ridge, just drop it in. This is your painting, your world. You can do anything that you want here. A little bit right back here. See? Now we can take this one and pull it distinctly through, and it pushes that one right back. Did you know you had that kind of power? Could you push mountains around? Boy, when I go home, the only thing I can push around is a chair, but here I can push around anything. Mountains and trees and rivers. There we go. We'll put a happy little peak right up there. Right up there. Now we're using a very firm paint here. We want this paint to be as firm as possible. Look at that. Okay, now see this little point here? It needs to have its own private shadow. If it doesn't have its own shadow, then it won't stand out like an individual. And you can just bounce it back and forth here and play. Shoot, look at there. Maybe there's another one that lives right there. As many or as few as you want in your world. This is your creation. But each one of them, see here, now once again, right here, we need to have another shadow. There we go. And all the time, this is mixing with that beautiful color that's underneath. It allows all kinds of things to happen. Now, let's take a clean, dry, 2-inch brush, and I'm going to gently tap, following the angles in the mountain. Always follow your angles. Tap more down here at the base than you do up here. Up here, you just barely want to whisper it. Down at the bottom, you want to tap it a little bit harder. If you begin collecting some paint on your brush, just beat the devil out of it, and that'll remove the excess paint right off your brush without going through a lot of cleaning. soft that's beginning to look. Over here, you follow these angles. Always pay attention to the angles in your mountain, and that's what you're looking for. There. Now then, very gently lift upward. This takes out all those little tap marks, softens, blends, creates the illusion of mist. Just like so. Isn't that easy? You have one fantastic mountain. Big son of a gun. There you go, mountain. There. Okay. Now we can play some more. Let's find us a fan brush. I think we'll just go right into this mixture we had before. We made the mountain with it. It was black, phthalo blue,